In the ancient kingdom of Noctera, where twilight stretched for eternity and moonlight bathed the land in a silvery glow, a powerful curse gripped the royal family. Centuries ago, a vampire prince named Lucian had fallen in love with a mortal woman. Their love was pure, but forbidden by the ancient laws of the night. Enraged by this defiance, a vengeful sorceress cast a spell upon the prince and his kin, binding their fate to a single, magical rose. The rose, with petals as crimson as blood and thorns as sharp as daggers, grew in the heart of the Shadow Forest, a place no mortal dared to tread. The curse decreed that as long as the rose remained untouched, the vampires of Noctera would be bound to their eternal night, unable to walk in the light of day or feel the warmth of love. Should the last petal fall before the curse was broken, the entire royal line would perish, their essence absorbed into the darkness forever. Generations passed, and the curse lingered, turning the once proud and noble vampires into reclusive beings, feared and shunned by all. Lucian's descendant, Prince Adrian, had long resigned himself to his fate. He was a striking figure, with eyes as dark as midnight and hair the color of ravens' wings. Despite his cold demeanor, there was a sorrow in his gaze, a longing for the life he could never have. One fateful evening, as the eternal twilight painted the sky in shades of violet and indigo, a young woman named Alara wandered into the Shadow Forest. She was a girl of rare beauty, with hair like spun gold and eyes that sparkled like the stars. Driven by a sense of adventure and an inexplicable pull, she ventured deeper into the forest, her curiosity guiding her to the very heart of the cursed land. There, among the twisted trees and creeping shadows, she discovered the magical rose. Its beauty was mesmerizing, and without understanding the significance of her actions, Alara reached out to touch the delicate petals. As her fingers brushed the flower, a wave of warmth spread through her, and in that moment, she felt a connection, a bond that tied her to the ancient curse. Suddenly, the forest grew still, and from the shadows emerged Prince Adrian. His gaze locked with Alara's, and for the first time in his life, he felt something stir within his cold heart. The curse had brought them together, but it was clear that only love, true and selfless, could break the spell that bound his family. Over time, as Alara and Adrian spent more time together, they grew closer. She learned of his tragic past, of the curse that had doomed his family, and of his desperate desire to break it. Despite the danger, Alara's heart was captivated by the prince's sorrow and strength, and she found herself falling in love with him. But their love was not without challenges. The sorceress who had cast the curse centuries ago still watched over the rose, determined to ensure that no mortal or vampire would ever break her spell. She sent creatures of the night to terrorize Alara, hoping to drive her away, but the girl's love for Adrian only grew stronger. As the last petal of the rose threatened to fall, Alara made a daring decision. She would sacrifice her mortal life to become a part of Adrian's world, binding her soul to his so they could break the curse together. With this selfless act of love, the magic of the rose reacted in a way the sorceress had not anticipated. On the night the last petal was to fall, Alara and Adrian stood together in the Shadow Forest, their hands entwined. As they confessed their love, the rose began to glow with a brilliant light, its petals unfurling in reverse, restoring themselves to full bloom. The curse that had bound Adrian and his family shattered, and the eternal twilight that had gripped Noctera faded as the first rays of dawn broke through the trees. The sorceress, defeated by the power of their love, vanished into the shadows, her magic undone. Adrian, now free to walk in the light of day, took Alara as his bride, and together they ruled Noctera, bringing peace and prosperity to the land. Their love story became legend, a tale of how true love can break even the darkest of curses, and how light can always find its way through the deepest shadows.